Okay, let's talk about whether you should listen to popular internet financial celebrities or individuals with, say, a YouTube channel or a blog or even the mainstream financial news media. The honest answer is you should take them as entertainment. Let's look at popular YouTubers in the financial space. Many of them are part-time. Many are relatively young. They haven't necessarily had any significant financial success. Many of them dropped out of college. They, had an entry-level job because that's what you have when you're in your mid-20s. And they haven't really done anything of significance yet in their life. And that sounds really negative, but it's the truth. When you're in your mid-20s, you haven't lived long enough to experience a lot of things unless you're, Mark Zuckerberg or somebody like that had tremendous success early on in life. And let's face it, there's not many people that have had that level of success early on, including myself. But when it comes to investing, much of the success and the knowledge you build comes from making mistakes, and it comes from doing a lot of research and learning. And given, when you're in your 20s, even if, say, you got your first full-time job when you're 18, and or maybe even later if you did some form of college at some point, that really doesn't give you a lot of time to have any real success in anything, either in the business world or the financial world, to build up a book of knowledge that you can necessarily teach others about. And many of these YouTubers will do things to make you think they're, extremely wealthy or extremely more knowledgeable than maybe they are. A lot of times, let's give an example here, which I think will help all of us understand my point a little bit better. A lot of times they will show you fast cars that they claim to own, when in reality a lot of them are leased or not even owned. They will oftentimes have a fancy house or apartment that overlooks, a big skyline or a city. Oftentimes those apartments are not even theirs. It's like an Airbnb, or it's leased, like a short term, like say a week lease. So needless to say, they're doing these things to impress people. And let's face it, a large majority of people that watch YouTube videos are younger. They're, in their mid-30s or less. So you have to take this into an account when you are taking their advice. Now, many of these same individuals are also trying to sell you something, and you can't fault them for that because they are trying to make a living. They view YouTube and the internet as their job, which is perfectly fine. But when somebody's giving you advice and they're trying to sell you something, there is almost some level of conflict of interest there. So you need to make sure that you keep that in mind, because what is in your best interest and what is in the person trying to sell you something's best interest is often different. It isn't, it doesn't always align. And sometimes it does, but not all the time. So let's look at YouTubers that produce daily content. Now, many of these people are tremendously helpful. They are looking to help you out, but there's a reason why they produce so many videos, because they're trying to make money from Google AdSense ads that are displayed on their YouTube videos. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but much of their content is something called clickbait. So they don't really care whether you watch the whole video, as long as you watch enough so they get paid via the ad. And there's ways you can block that via ad blockers or things like that. But again, you have to take into account, are they just making this video because they think it's in your best interest to listen to the content? Or are they making the video because they know they can get a lot of people to click on that video? And I mean, yeah, you can install ad blockers. You can skip the video. You can watch the video and they get paid. I mean, it's not no real issue for you because you're not paying them. But at the same time, it's just something to take into account, because the advice in those videos may not be totally relevant to you. And at the end of the day, it's on you to protect yourself. But you need to understand that these issues exist out there. Okay, now let's talk about some famous I want to say lifestyle video bloggers or bloggers out there. You probably see a lot of their ads. Again, they will show you their fast cars. They will show you, they're hanging out with 6 women that are, for lack of a better way of saying it, that are, there to get a generally male young audience to watch their ad or their videos. These individuals, talk about, I got my, this is the farmland I just recently bought, blah, 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 blah. And meanwhile, there's, no proof that they have actually done anything to purchase that farmland or to anything successful in life other than try to get you to buy their products. Again, this is there's nothing wrong with selling on the internet. We all have to make a living, but at the same time, you have to question whether these individuals have your best interests in mind. So, let's talk about where are good sources to get information from. Reading books from different successful individuals that have verifiable success, such as Warren Buffett or Howard Marks or anybody else that has successfully done whatever you want to do, whether that's investing or being a successful football player. You're a lot better reading a book by, say, Jerry Rice than a book by somebody who never actually played football but has watched a lot of football tape or YouTube videos on football. And that's exaggerating the point, but it does get the point across.